Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and Joel.
Yeah, this is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Jazzy Joel.
Hey guys, what's up?
We are here for our final Texas Chainsaw review.
Oh yeah.
So that means we're doing the brand new one, Texas Chainsaw Massacre from this year, 2022, over on Netflix. Joel, who is in this?
Alright, so this one stars Sarah Yarkin. She is Mel. She was in Happy Death Day to You.
Ooh.
Eat Brains Love.
Ooh.
And 10 episodes of a show called Foursome.
Oh.
That lasted, I think it said 36 episodes. So.
All right.
And then we've got Elsie Fisher. She's Lila. She's the sister. She was in 10 episodes of Castle Rock. Despicable Me 1 and 2.
Oh.
And McFarland USA, which is a cross-country sports movie that I actually like quite a bit.
Oh.
And the 2019 animated Addams Family movie.
Yeah.
And then we've got Jacob Lattimore. He's Dante. He was in 39 episodes of the Chi. He's in Detroit, Collateral Beauty, and The Maze Runner. This was written by Chris Thomas Devlin, did the screenplay, and this was literally his first thing he did. He's got another thing called Cobweb that's in post-production right now, but this was his first actual movie that he's written the screenplay for.
Okay.
And then we've got the story by Fede Alvarez.
Oh, yeah.
He wrote the screenplay for Evil Dead. He wrote Don't Breathe 1 and 2. And he also did The Girl in the Spider's Web.
Okay.
And then we've got Rodo Sayagas. He also did the story. And he also did the screenplay for Evil Dead, Don't Breathe 1 and 2. And one episode of a show called Calls. That was, I think last year is when it came out. And then it was directed by David Blue Garcia. And the only other movie he's done is Tejano. He is definitely more of a cinematographer than he is a director.
Gotcha.
Which, honestly, I could kind of tell on some of the shots in this movie.
Yeah.
So... yeah, he's credited more for cinematography than he is directing. So,
okay.
But
all right. So after nearly 50 years of hiding, Leatherface returns to terrorize a group of idealistic young friends who accidentally disrupt his carefully shielded world in a remote Texas town. Yeah.
Oh man.
So, we've talked about this one, the anticipation for it, for a while now. I know it's been mentioned in other episodes that we've posted, especially the Texas Chainsaw episodes, but I think we've mentioned it in even other ones, because this movie was announced a while ago. It was finished a while ago, and it was just kind of sitting in limbo for a while. I know I've been looking forward to it for probably 2 years. It's been a long time.
It's been a while since it was announced.
Yeah.
But, COVID kind of ruined plans for quite a bit of movies and stuff. But, so it's definitely been around for a little while.
Yeah. So I was, just wanting a fun, cool looking Leatherface, some good kills, and I mean that's pretty much what I was looking for. I know, we were kind of worried about it being on Netflix. Kind of worried about the fact that it had been kind of sitting there for a little while. I had heard some rumors about test screenings not going well.
Which the rumor is why it went to Netflix, because no other studio wanted to buy it.
Yeah.
So whether or not that's true or not, I have no idea. Like, these are the same people that go to these test screens are the ones that went to the Halloween Resurrection one and demanded more of Busta. Busta Rhymes, and which they put him in more because of the test screenings. So you can never really fully go by that.
All right, so let's see how it turned out. I loved it.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah?
Yeah,
all right.
I really did.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess statistically one of us was supposed to hate it.
Right. Yeah.
Based on social media.
Yeah. And the IMDb score is a 4.9.
Yeah.
It's pretty low.
It's pretty low.
I think that's one of the lowest of the franchise.
Which is ridiculous and so stupid. And the people that rated those were not the ones that rated the other movies at all. I don't think those people even saw the other ones.
Probably not.
There's a lot of people saying that it's like the worst movie of the franchise. Some people say I've seen people say it's the worst movie they've ever seen. I was like, are you serious right now? Like,
oh my gosh.
People, yeah.
So we got Leatherface. It's a 5, the one from 2017.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Leatherface, the third one.
Yeah,
that has a 5.
That has a higher score than this one does.
Yeah. Texas Chainsaw 2 has a 5.6.
Oh my god.
Texas Chainsaw 3D has a 4.8.
Okay, it's
and then Texas Chainsaw Next Gen has a 3.3.
That one deserves to have that kind of a score. But some of the other ones deserve to have that kind of a score too, but not this one.
No. Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
People jumped all over this. I feel like people just wanted to hate this movie,
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason. Yeah. I don't know why. But I know, both of us. It's a
whole woke thing, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
A lot of it has to do with the fact that people thought that this is a woke movie. And in fact, it's like the complete opposite of a woke movie.
Yeah. So let's kind of talk about some of the plot. So basically what the plot is here is, and I think you want to just go into spoilers for this one.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, we just put up what the number, we just put up, yeah, it's going to be a while before this one comes up. So yeah, we can spoil it.
Okay. So
it's Netflix. If they haven't seen it by the time this is up, then they're not gonna. So,
so there's a group of 20-something-year-olds, early 20s. They're going to driving a Tesla. It looks like going to this remote, kind of abandoned Texas town, which actually, from what I heard, is the same small town that they filmed House of Wax in.
Oh, okay.
Which
I can kind of see that. It kind of looks like this similar like vibe of the town.
Yeah. So it looks like it's just like a block, like a city block is kind of what it looks like to me. And it's just abandoned for the most part. And they're going there and they're going to kind of start a new community, I guess, there. And, one of them or two of them, I think, are chefs, and another one wants to open up, some comic book store or something. And so they're going there with all these like dreams to make this place and revitalize it and, bring, and there's like comments about like, oh, this is what happens with capitalism. And, comments about, there's like, what's a Confederate flag.
There's some anti-gun type of comments in there too.
Yeah. And so I see initially, and this is like all the first 15-20 minutes of the movie. So initially, yes, there is like some of that stuff in there, that I was kind of worried about. Okay, where are they going with this? Because Leatherface is a villain, right?
Yeah.
In most of these movies. And are they trying to make Texans look bad? Is Leatherface going to be this like redneck racist or something now in this new one? Or what's going to happen here?
Yeah.
But I feel like they totally flipped that on its head. They totally flipped the idea of this being a woke movie against Texans and guns and all that, and kind of made you root for that. Because one of the characters, the like mechanic guy, he's supposed to be kind of like a bad guy at first, you think.
He's kind of like creepy and yeah,
he's got his big gun.
Seems like
and
he's like one of like the family type of a If this is one of the earlier movies, he'd be one of the family members or whatever.
Right. And the girl makes some comment like about how he's compensating for something because he's got a big gun or whatever, and he's driving this big truck and what's it called? Diesel just flying out of it and all that.
Yeah.
So he's like this stereotypical Texan. But he ends up helping them. He's kind of someone that they need to go to for help. Yeah. So it's like, these kids who are all, anti-gun, being kind of woke and entitled, are then like, we need help.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was kind of cool. I thought it was like a good mix of, both sides of the coin. So I liked that. And something I do want to say, because I was thinking at the beginning when one of the characters makes that capitalism comment, it's funny that he said that because capitalism is the reason why they're able to even have the dream that they have,
Yeah.
You're trying to open these places and you have all these investors coming to help you with this. That's capitalism, man.
Yeah.
So
I know.
So right when I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, this movie's going to be stupid. But it turned out to be a good, like, two sides of the coin type of film. So.
And it was only literally that first 15 minutes of the movie that they even mentions the whole, like, wokeness. There was even that one scene where they're, like, pulled over by the cops, too. And it was, like, the whole, like, they pretty much threw everything into this movie.
Right away.
And it just sort of, like, flipped it.
Yeah.
Flipped everything around. So.
And even the cop scene, the black guy's like, okay, make sure you put your hands where they can see him, and he's nervous, but I feel like the cops were pretty nice.
Yeah, they
were nice. They were just like, what are you guys doing? Oh, I heard about you guys coming over here. Make sure you're not getting into trouble or whatever. And maybe they knew about Leatherface, you know what I mean? So they were like, all right, make sure you don't piss him off.
Yeah, I love that first scene when they're in that like shop or whatever, and there's a shirt that says it's one of those like I Heart New York shirts, but I Heart Texas with like instead of the heart, it's like a chainsaw.
Yeah,
so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're really
leaning into the whole Texas chainsaw thing here,
leaning into their culture over there.
Yeah,
that's funny. They're proud of that Leatherface guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so. And they're trying to, another thing is they go into this house that is supposed to be abandoned, but there's this lady who lives there. And there's this argument about whether it's her house or if it's his house or their house. And this argument kind of leads to her dying. She's, on oxygen and has an oxygen tank, and, she's near death before this happens, but it kind of pushes her over the edge. And that's what awakens the Leatherface, because it was his like foster mom, I guess. It was kind of like
it was
orphanage.
Adopted. Yeah, it was an adoption building.
Yeah.
So foster or adopted.
Yeah. It was
one of those. So, or orphanage.
Yeah. He was the last one that was left, and he just kind of lived upstairs from what it looked like. And so she dies, and he just goes on a killing rampage. All these woke teenage, or Gen Zers come to his town.
And that's another thing too. Like it's not that it was woke. It's just that's just basically how kids are.
Yeah.
These days, like I felt like it was like more real.
Yeah.
Than it was like a woke type of a situation.
Right. I feel like it wasn't trying to have some sort of social commentary necessarily. It was just okay. This is a group of kids that have these certain ideals, and they're going into a town with Leatherface, and that's not a good mix.
Yeah, no.
So
it's not.
This is what happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, the kills.
That first kill.
Yeah. Oh.
You're talking about when he snaps. That was. Yeah, when that happened, I was like, "Oh, this is what's going on in this movie." All right.
Yeah, that was so cool. He snaps the dude's wrist and to where a bone is sticking out, and then he stabs him in the neck with the bone.
With his own bone.
With his own bone. His own wrist. Oh my god. I've never seen that.
No, I haven't either.
That's a first.
Like, yeah. I was like, that's okay, this is the type of Chainsaw Massacre movie we're getting here. We're getting body parts getting ripped open and getting stabbed by your own bones.
And then he's, in the background. Some of the shots were really cool. One of the shots of her kind of seeing him in the background behind the van, and you can kind of see him like cutting his mom's face. You can't really see what he's doing, but you know that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
And the mask is awesome.
Yeah.
I love
How does it stay on?
I don't know.
Just sort of, sort of put it on his face, and then it's just supposed to stick the entire time.
Yeah, it's sticky blood.
That lasts a long time.
Yeah, adhesive blood.
Yeah.
Or he just carries around some strings,
Yeah.
in his pocket.
Hey, he could.
Yeah.
You never know. For a rainy day.
You never know when
he just has them in his pocket just in case. Just in case today's the day I snap.
Yeah. They do show his actual face a few times, which I thought was interesting because I don't know that we've really seen that much in the franchise.
Not much. I think we've seen his face, but we haven't seen it a whole lot.
Yeah.
For sure.
So yeah, that kill was awesome. That whole scene when he becomes Leatherface, as we know him. That was awesome. I liked Leatherface in general in this. He was big. He was intimidating.
He was actually menacing in this movie.
Yeah. It's definitely one of the better Leatherfaces that we've gotten in the franchise, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. So another thing that people have been saying negative about this movie is that they don't believe, because this is a direct sequel to the first one.
Yeah.
And so they don't believe that the original Leatherface would be smart enough to pull off some of the stuff that this Leatherface does.
Yeah.
There's like some traps and stuff that he sets for the kids and everything, and it's like Leatherface wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And it's like I would get behind that if this were a direct sequel, like a movie that happened just a couple of years later. Yeah. But this is one that was like 40 years later. He could have developed some of these skills in 4 decades. That's it's not like very complicated things that he's doing.
Right.
And so I was like, that's one of the things that people were like, my Leatherface wouldn't do this. Well, it's been 40 years, so your Leatherface could have been able to do this.
Yeah, he can learn some things.
Yeah.
Learn some tricks. One thing he does is he has the chainsaw kind of running, and he puts it down in one spot, and he's kind of hiding in to the side of it, so then it lures the victim over to the chainsaw, and he comes from behind or from the side. And at one point,
that's one of the things that original Leatherface, I guess, wouldn't
have thought
be able to. Yeah. But it's like,
it's not too complicated.
It's really not. Like,
it's not really like not Jigsaw or something.
Yeah. I mean, the guy can sew faces, like take faces off, like that's like medical procedures.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he's definitely crafty. Give him some credit.
I was just like, yeah.
At one point, he kind of throws the he throws the chainsaw a couple of times. One time he throws it at a moving car, and another time he kind of like throws it, like rolls it on the ground. To like hit and it cut the girl at the ankle at the leg. Yeah, that was cool. I thought, man, Leatherface is getting creative.
Yeah. I mean, he's snapping bones and stabbing people in the neck with his own bones, so that's pretty creative.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, now we got to talk about. Well, actually, we'll talk about this kill first, and then we'll talk about the massacre. So there's a kill with one of the main characters in the house, and he is being killed in the. There's like a struggle in the kitchen, and the kitchen door is like swinging open and shut and open and shut. It's like kind of a revolving. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it like kind of opens and then you see what's happening and then it shuts and then it opens and something else is happening. I was like, okay, you're getting pretty tricky with this camera placement and stuff. I was not expecting anything like that in this movie.
I wasn't either.
Yeah,
I would be kind of disappointed if that's where that scene ended, just because we don't actually get to see like that kill in particular. But that scene extends.
Yes, yeah, there's definitely more.
There's more to it than just that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that scene was pretty cool. I like that.
I really like that. Okay, so then we've got the massacre.
The actual, finally, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It's the only really scene that warrants the title.
Yeah,
in the whole series.
Yeah.
So it's raining, and so everybody gets on this bus, and it's like a party bus. There's like different rooms and stuff, and Leatherface gets on the bus. Gets
on board because they're dumb enough to leave the damn door open.
Yeah.
Close the door. What are you doing? He probably would have found his way in there anyway. But
and he just, so it's in the trailer, like he's standing there with his chainsaw and people take out their cell phones and one of the guys says, what does he say?
Something like, what do you say? One word and you're canceled, bro, or something like that.
Yeah, try anything and you're canceled, bro.
Yeah.
And then that's when he lights up the chainsaw. And
he's like, all right, I'm canceled, apparently.
And he just goes at it. Everybody gets sawed in half and arms flying off. And it's a longer scene. Like,
it is.
It's just crazy.
It's a lot of people on that bus.
Yeah, he gets through everybody. Yeah.
There is some CGI blood, which I think is kind of lame. Like some CGI moments in there, but it can't all be practical, I guess.
Yeah. There's some CGI for sure, but there's also some practical effects in the movie too. But yeah, that scene was awesome.
Yeah, it was. That was intense.
Yeah. And I remember seeing the trailer and thinking, okay, awesome, this is gonna be a cool scene. But it was even better than I thought it was gonna be. I didn't think it would go that far.
So, what'd you think about Sally's little cameo appearance that she makes in this movie?
I thought that was kind of the weaker part of the movie, honestly.
Yeah.
I thought it was just kind of thrown in there. Didn't really do anything for me. She was only in it a little bit.
And she had an opportunity to kill him.
Oh, yeah.
That irritated me so much. I was like, you're waited 30, 40 years for this moment, and he is right in front of you, not doing anything. you could easily just blow his head off right now.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah.
And it was because he didn't remember her, or at least she didn't think he remembered her.
Yeah, it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, that's not the point.
Yeah, and she knows he's been killing people, like, that night, so...
Yeah.
It's not like a mistaken identity or something like that,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Yeah.
They could have done a way better job with that scene, for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And then there's this quote-unquote fight that goes on with them, which started out kind of cool, but then it just sort of ended. It's like, oh, this is a big battle between Sally and Leatherface. And he literally takes a chainsaw and cuts her, goes through her, and then lifts her up, throws her body...
like across the street.
Yeah. And then somehow 5 minutes later she's able to get a couple shots off on him. Like, what?
Yeah, that was dumb.
You should definitely be dead right now.
Yeah, that he lifted someone else up in the bus too.
Yeah,
with the chainsaw, and then he lifts her up and tosses her across the street.
Yeah.
I thought at first he cut her in half and like threw half of her across the street, but then I was like, okay, her whole body is still intact for for what the most part. But yeah, that was dumb that she was able to get some shots off. Like,
yeah, and then she was able to like talk to Lila for a minute. Like, what?
Yeah, those two parts. I love the him lifting her and cutting her and throwing her.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I love that, but the fact that she was able to still fight and shoot and talk and everything, that was dumb. And the whole scene where she's like got the gun on him and she doesn't shoot him, that was dumb too. So I really
everything
feel
with
like,
her apparently was done. Yeah, it was just
not needed. But as we have seen in a requel, which I think this would count as, you gotta have a legacy character.
Yeah,
and she's the only one.
And I'm glad they killed off the one legacy character in this movie.
They did.
That was the one thing about the whole character thing in this movie that I actually enjoyed, because a lot of the times, especially with like the first movie that they do, they're like, yeah, we'll keep you around, and then maybe kill you off in the sequel or something like that, just to keep the character around for a little while. But no, they definitely were like, we're not doing that. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. This legacy character is going to die.
Yeah, I liked that she was done. You're doing a direct sequel, so it's fine to have her in it, I guess. Just to kill her off. They made it seem like in the trailer she was going to be a much bigger part of the movie.
Yeah.
Than she actually was, which after, seeing her and kind of the acting and I don't know, I was kind of glad that she wasn't in it that much. I liked the other characters more. And what I liked was I wanted them to die.
Yeah.
I kind of, there was one character who had been in like a school shooting. I did like her and I didn't want her to die. And she's the only one that lives. And
literally the only one in the entire movie. Besides Leatherface.
Yeah, of course. But everybody
that scene was crazy too.
The end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on Facebook and in the groups that we're in and stuff, people were like, saying that they're gonna watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, and someone's like, "Oh, did you watch the post-credit scene?"
Yeah.
And then watching it, I was like, "Did you watch the end of the movie? Like, you didn't even need a post-credit scene. No. That set it up right there that there's that he's not dead. Like,
right.
Okay, did you miss that part?"
I don't know. All he does with the post-credit is walk to the house. Like, okay. He walked all the way back. Oh man,
they set it up for a sequel. Well, yeah, of course they did that in the end of the movie.
Yeah. I think it's the fact that he went to the original house.
To the house, yeah.
But okay, whatever.
I liked the setting for this one. It was different. So
yeah, I'm totally fine with a different setting. Like going back to the house, it's kind of lame to me, honestly. Yeah. I like this.
People were like, people hated on the story of this one. They hated on the location. I was like, both of those are different.
Yeah.
Completely different than the stories and locations that we've had throughout the entire series. Like, you guys can chill for 1 minute for one movie and let it be in a different location with a different story. Like, I'm totally fine with both of those things.
Yeah. So, some criticism that I had also seen was that there was like not enough character development or not not interesting characters or whatever. And so I think I tweeted this that I heard that criticism, but then I asked, were the characters in the original interesting?
Yeah.
Is there anything interesting or compelling about them? Because everybody loves the original, but can you really? I think you can make the same criticism of the original.
You really can, yeah.
I don't get that argument.
People don't watch these movies for the character development of the characters.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I think there's some purists, Texas Chainsaw purists out there. A lot of horror fans that are, just hold that original to such high regard that it just doesn't matter what you do. You're so not going to satisfy. And a lot of hate for this movie, but it sounds like we both liked it.
Yeah.
Except for
we didn't grow up on the first one though, so I wonder if our opinion would have changed if we had, but I don't know. I would hope that it wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Because this is, it is a direct sequel, but at the same time it is something completely different.
Yeah.
Than that.
Yeah,
so.
I'm totally down for a sequel. It's done well. From what I saw, the week it came out, it was the second most viewed movie on Netflix, and
probably the most hated also after that.
So hopefully that means there's going to be a sequel. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
But you got to do it. Just do it.
Yeah,
just make a sequel.
Yeah, it's gonna go back to the farm and everything, and that's kind of boring at this point. But have a either a different cast of characters or characters, or have Lila come back at some point and have her still be attached to it. Yeah, because she is literally the only survivor.
Yeah.
Who didn't even want to go to that town, so maybe she won't be back.
Yeah, maybe not. I really liked, the end where, the other girl, I can't remember her name, gets her head sawn off.
Mel, yeah. Melody.
She gets her head sawed off.
Yeah.
While her sister is in the automated driving car. Watching her, like, there's nothing she can do to get out of the car, and she's just watching her sister just be beheaded. And it was just kind of beautiful in a way. Because it was like, okay, look at you guys in your high-tech, fancy, Gen Z technology getting taken away by the technology. And this dude who's got an old-fashioned chainsaw is killing your sister. Oh, man. I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. A little artsy, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. And, I thought that was great.
Yeah.
Dude, good way of, like, ending that movie.
Yeah.
For sure. So I was like, this is too happy. I know what Mel did with that chainsaw was kind of cool, like the whole hitting him in the head.
Yeah,
but uppercut. Then, the uppercut to the face. But it's like, you got to do more than that. Like, that's not going to kill Leatherface.
No,
like,
you just nicked him on the chin.
Yeah, exactly.
Knock him out for a second, but come on.
Yeah.
It's leather.
So, yeah, exactly. And where did they didn't leave right away because it was dark when that happened, and it was daylight when they left.
Yeah.
I was like, "Are you guys asleep there?" Or like, I would have been gone.
Yeah.
Maybe she deserved what happened. I ain't waiting that long to leave. I mean, the car does the driving for you, so like, there's not even.
Yeah, take a nap while
you
you're driving.
You could have just slept in the car.
Oh man! So overall, fun movie. Other than Sally, I enjoyed every bit of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's what I also put out on Twitter and, you know, some comments and things is this movie is pretty much exactly what I wanted for a Texas Chainsaw film in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. It doesn't, I mean, none of the movies had like a great story or great plot or whatever. It was basically just Leatherface just killing people. So that's really all I wanted too, was just, you know, a good Leatherface, like you were saying, and some good kills, which we definitely got.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, we were supposed to hate everyone in the movie pretty much. Like,
was the point.
That was the intention the entire time.
Yeah.
So people were who just got pissed off at the characters and stuff. Like, you're supposed to.
Yeah.
That's, you know, don't hate on the movie because you don't like the characters. You're not supposed to like the characters.
Right. But people don't like that. People want to connect with the characters and want to root for the characters, you know?
I get that too. I'm the same way for the most part, but it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, come on.
Right. Have you really rooted for any characters in the Texas Chainsaw series?
Yeah, exactly. I wanted Franklin to die in the first one, but, you know.
I mean, he's in a wheelchair. You're supposed to feel bad for that guy.
I did not, one bit. Oh man, yeah. So I get that that you're supposed to care for him, and I feel the same way for most horror movies, but not for a slasher. I just give me good kills and characters to die. Like that's really all that I want.
Yeah, same here. And
in like a mediocre story that just basically, you know, just gets the ball rolling with the movie.
Yeah, and icing on top of the cake is some of the like cool music, some of the cool like shots, some of the cool camera work, and you know, all that can just make a movie even better. And I feel like this movie had some of that. So, you know, it's better than your average slasher, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
All right, so let's grade it.
All right,
what do you got?
I am giving this one an 85.
Dude. That's exactly what I'm giving it.
Really? Nice.
Man. This is not scripted.
No, it's really not. No. The only thing I ever write down is like the cast and everything. Yeah. Like my part in the beginning. Everything else is just off the top of my head.
Off the dome.
Yep. Nice. That number just like kind of like clicked in my mind. I was like, that's a good score for it.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, so hoping for a sequel. Definitely, I've seen it twice now. It's only been out for a couple weeks. I'll probably watch it again, you know, in a few months or something. It's just a fun, good time movie.
Yeah, it really is. And people, I don't understand the criticism that it get. Like, I understand some of the criticism, I guess, is because, you know, I mean, it's not in the 90s, so obviously it's not perfect. But it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Don't take this series too seriously.
Right.
This franchise. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah. I think I think the only people, well, it seems like a lot of people are criticizing it, but I feel like the vocal ones are the more fans of like the original film.
Probably.
Whereas the people that liked it, I think, are more fans of like the remake. The newer version of Leatherface. So I think those are the two camps that people are in. Yeah. I could agree with that. But I mean, it's still like I don't know. It's got better acting than the original one. Yeah. It's got kills in this one. Like, I don't know what they're expecting for their Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies.
Like, you're expecting it to be on par with the first movie, which to some it is and some it's not. But I mean, it's definitely well above par for the majority of the series.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's definitely better than the majority of these movies.
I mean, I imagine that me and you are going, when we do our ranking, which will be the next episode, that me and you are going to put this movie above the original.
It's a possibility.
I know I'm going to.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think it's above that for me too.
Yeah. So it's just, I don't know, different taste, I guess, in what you want a slasher to be. So
people are not going to like where I have my original on my list, because I just did mine today.
Oh, so. Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll be exciting.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So we both gave it 85. It's a good horror film, good slasher, above average. Definitely good for the franchise. So I would definitely check it out on Netflix. Whenever you can, if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
And even though we spoiled it, it's still fun. I mean, you just really don't grasp the brutality of this movie without seeing it. We talked about some of the kills, but it's really cool on screen to see it.
It really is.
So
like all of the scenes that we talked about are so much better actually seeing it than just like imagining what it looks like in your mind. No.
Yeah.
Even that bone scene is, there's, you could probably imagine that one, but it's still a really cool scene to see on the screen.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, I guess that's it. It's a wrap on the Texas Chainsaw series.
Yep.
We'll be doing the ranking next, and then we are done.
We are done with this franchise.
Other stuff.
Yep. On to single movies. I don't know what our next franchise will be, but
yeah, we'll see when Hellraiser's announced, when a release date.
Maybe Evil Dead.
Yeah,
we have
Dead, whenever that's released, or Jeepers Creepers, or just depends on what's coming out first.
They will be definitely not as long of a franchise as this one was.
Yeah, no.
No matter what we do, pretty much.
All right. Well, that's it. This has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let leather bite.